Kind of mesmerizing. Ooh.
Welcome to week 10 of the Tailgate. I'm Michelle Margaux. That is Ralph Vacchiano. And coming up, we have Jonathan Vilma, former Jet and current Fox NFL analyst, coming on the show. He's going to tell us why he thinks Joe Judge is the right man to lead the Giants. And he tells us some good stories about Gregg Williams from their time on the New Orleans Saints. But first, Ralph, this was a very big milestone week for you.
It was huge. I feel like I should have balloons and confetti because in 4.5 years as the NFL insider at SNY, this was my 100th loss. 100 combined losses between the Giants and Jets. The record over that time, 46-100. It is amazing. It is validation for everyone out there who's always told me loudly that it's all my fault.
Time for a new segment that we call the Great Vaccaro, who will look into his crystal ball and see what the future looks like. You ready, Vacchiano?
Yeah, by the way, worst segment title ever. It's, it's like I'm the Great Zoltar or something. Put me in one of those little boxes down at the shore.
Zoltar from the movie Big is in Playland, which is in Rye, New York, and my dad grew up next door to Playland.
Wow,
I
fascinating.
know. The winner of the NFC East is blank.
It's like I'm shaking this like it's a magic 8-ball, but it's not telling me anything.
No.
It is the Philadelphia Eagles, and here's why. They're actually getting healthy, and they've already got 3 wins, which is like more than halfway towards the winner of this division, so they're way ahead of everybody else.
Trevor Lawrence will be wearing a blank jersey next season.
He is going to be wearing, I was going to say a football jersey just to be funny, but we'll say a green, sometimes white, sometimes black football jersey in New York with the Jets. He's not going to get scared and go, decide to go back to Clemson. He's going to come to New York and take on everything that comes along with being a Jets quarterback.
What will 2021 hold for the Jets?
It will hold a new coach. It will hold a new quarterback. And probably not all that many more wins, unfortunately, but maybe a little bit of hope. And really, if you're a Jets fan at this point, that's really all you can dream about.
All right. The Great Vaccaro says so. It must be true.
Ralph, the Giants have been in pretty much every game this season, and OC said last week that he thinks Joe Judge is doing a good job. Is that the sense within the organization?
Oh, yeah. He's right. They love him in the organization. And I know they're 2-7, and they're certainly disappointed in that. But they watch everything that he did after the last 4 years, the way he's built a culture of this program, instilled discipline, got the players believing. I don't know that I've ever seen a franchise with this many losses this early. Absolutely convinced that they're on the right track. They think they found their next Tom Coughlin.
Ralph, do you think that's the consensus among the fan base as well?
Oh, absolutely. I sent out a tweet earlier this week asking Giants fans what they think about Joe Judge, and I was stunned by the responses. I mean, overwhelming. Almost every single one talked about how much they loved him, how they found their coach. Some compared him to Bill Parcells and Tom Coughlin. The guy has 2 wins. Both of them are against Washington, and the fan base loves him. A year ago, I don't know that many people could have even picked Joe Judge out of the lineup. Now they're getting him ready for the Hall of Fame.
Let's high step in the friend zone and welcome in former Jet and current Fox NFL analyst Jonathan Vilma. Thank you so much for joining us.
Anytime, Michelle. How you doing?
I'm doing great. So you called the Giants game on Sunday, which is easily their best win of the season. Have you gotten the sense that Joe Judge is doing a good job despite the 2-7 record?
From the outside, before I covered the game, I would have said no. And then I spoke to his coaches, I spoke to some of the players, and everyone had a positive attitude. It was more like this sense of confidence that, if we can just clean up the details, we can win a lot of games. And, you saw the first half of the Giants game, they looked good. They looked really good. Gave up some plays at the end, but were able to hold on to win. So I think Joe Judge is doing a good job.
In the opening of that broadcast, you gave a big shout out to one of their defensive leaders, Blake Martinez, who leads the NFL in tackles, which I know is something that you did during your career. You also had a forced fumble. He had an interception. What's impressed you most about his first season in New York?
His leadership and the way he's responded week in and week out. He's done everything that they've asked, and you can tell when he's on the field, he communicates well. He reads his keys, he tackles well. So I've been very impressed with his progression, and that he's been kind of like a tree stump, even though the record hasn't been what it is, he's been very consistent.
So you're a veteran of the Gregg Williams defense. What worked for the Jets last season that has not worked this season?
It's been the pressures. The last season or last half of the season, they did a really good job of pressuring the quarterbacks, pressuring the opposing offenses. It just hasn't clicked. It hasn't worked for them at all this season.
When it does work, I love watching a Gregg Williams defense, and I think a lot of fans do too. You know, what's your best Gregg Williams story or experience?
We just beat in Washington, and it wasn't a good victory. We had to fight our way, claw our way, but we ended up winning the game. And I remember that speech on Monday. He's just, going off and yelling and talking about we have to play better, and da-da-da-da-da. And he's like, and some of you're not even in your playbooks, and blah, 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 blah. So, and I see him right after the meeting, and he was like, hey, how was that? Is that good? That was good? And I was like, yeah. And I said, how'd you know about the playbooks? He said, I didn't know. I just saw a couple playbooks there. I think that they left them, so I just added it in there. He was completely ad-libbing while he's just yelling and getting into us to get us motivated.
All right, more from Jonathan in a minute, but first, a new segment that we call Don't Be That Guy. And Ralph, did you see the Chargers assistant special teams coach Keith Burns wearing shorts as a mask?
Yeah, what the heck was that? I mean, the NFL actually takes this stuff very seriously, as they should, and they find coaches for not having masks worn the right way or not quite the right size or whatever. This is just, I mean, I don't even know what he's going for here. Is that a fashion statement, or is that just something for comfort? It's really bizarre.
I don't know. I don't know how it's comfortable, but I hope they smell good.
Oh, I hadn't even thought of that. Thank you for that image.
So Jonathan, obviously you had an impressive NFL career, but now you have had this second career as a broadcaster. At what point did you know that you wanted to pursue broadcasting?
Good question, Michelle. I did a halftime NBC Notre Dame game. And I was really excited. First time I've been really excited outside of actually playing football. I was really excited about doing it. And I was like, I could make a career out of this. That was a lot of fun. I enjoyed it.
It's been a while now since you played, obviously. I think 2013 was the last snap of your career. Meanwhile, your high school teammate, Frank Gore, is still going. How amazed are you by that, and what is it about him that keeps him going year after year?
So you really meant Benjamin Button. So Benjamin Button, a.k.a. Frank Gore, he has definitely found the fountain of youth, and I've been trying to ask him for the past couple of years if he could give me some. It's really about his work ethic. We played high school ball together, played college ball together, and so he was a guy that I don't even know why he had a chip on his shoulder. He just always had a chip on his shoulder. He's like a ultra competitive guy, and so that's played well in his favor. He's always trying to prove the doubters wrong. I have no idea who his doubters are now because he's going to be a Hall of Fame running back, so I still don't get it. But, it's worked well for him, and he takes tremendous care of his body. That's one thing I really appreciate about him.
Do you believe that the Jets were on track to maybe win a Super Bowl someday if they hadn't traded you away?
So if you're asking, am I the reason they haven't won the Super Bowl, then yes, definitely. I'm the reason. If they would have kept me, we would have won 3 Super Bowls. Just putting it out there. No, I'm joking. Completely joking. There were a couple teams that I would have loved to have played on with Rex Ryan. Man, I remember watching those defenses because we were, with the Saints, we were playing the AFC East at the time, and I was like, man, they're good. They're good. It was a lot of fun watching them. So I would have enjoyed playing on a couple of those teams. I really would have.
Well, Jonathan, thank you so much for your time. We really, really appreciate it.
Oh, thank you, Michelle. Thanks, guys.
I'm in the pocket. I'm in the pocket.
All right, let's head in the pocket where we put money in your pocket. And Ralph, I don't think we're putting money in anyone's pocket.
No, this has been a really, really bad stretch. You think New York football has been bad? Well, our picks are rising to that low bar, that's for sure.
The Jets are on a bye this week, which means there's only
thank
one.
God. I mean, I need a break from picking at least one of these teams.
The Giants are at home this week against the Eagles. They're 3-point underdogs. Who are you taking?
Well, I just picked the Eagles to win the NFC East, or at least my crystal ball did, so I kind of have to stick with them. I actually want to pick a push in this game because I think it'll be close, but I'm gonna take the Eagles to win.
All right, so now it's time for your lock of the week.
I like the way you said that. It's very convincing, like you actually believe I'm going to give good advice here.
I trust you. I trust you with everything, Ralph.
Really bad mistake on your part. All right, my lock of the week is going to be the Minnesota Vikings. And it's a terrible pick for lock of the week, but they've been playing better. Dalvin Cook has been an absolute monster. So if you're giving me the Vikings and giving the Bears 2.5 points, I feel confident that the Vikings right now can pull this out and win by at least 3.
Ralph's Lock of the Week.
Tua Tagovailoa has been outstanding, so therefore I'm going to go with the Dolphins, and the spread is only 2.5. So I feel like it's not going to be that hard.
Michelle's Lock of the Week.
You're doing that just because I picked against him last week and lost my lock. This is to rub it in my face, isn't it?
It's absolutely not. I would never think of anything like that.
At all.
All right, Ralph. Well, I think that'll do it for week 10 of the Tailgate. Let's thank Jonathan Vilma. Again, you can catch him every single week on NFL on Fox. For Ralph Vacchiano, I'm Michelle Margaux. We'll see you next week.